From AccuWeather.com, this is AccuWeather Daily, a brief host-read article. It's weather news in a nutshell. Well, more wintry weather is on the way for parts of the Midwest and the Northeast as fresh Arctic air will set the stage for a storm early next week that could bring disruptive snow and ice. Before the bigger storm threat arrives, though, smaller wintry events will move through the regions. After a quick clipper brought snow to the Northeast Wednesday, another weak storm brought a narrow band of snow, eventually mixing with rain from South Dakota into parts of the Ohio Valley Wednesday night. Since the storm will dip so far southeast of the Appalachians on Thursday, it will run out of cold air, preventing snow on the Atlantic seaboard. Instead, it will bring some much-needed rain to the southeast. Another narrow swath of snow is forecast to develop Friday into Saturday night ahead of a surge of Arctic air plunging southeastward from Canada. The snow will begin in Montana on Friday, spread into the Midwest Friday night, and then reach the interior Northeast Saturday night. Most areas will pick up a coating to a couple of inches. Chicago, Minneapolis, Detroit may pick up an inch or so from Friday night into Saturday night. South and east of the snow band and Arctic front, temperatures will briefly surge across the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic, and New England on Saturday before plunging again into Monday. In New York City, for example, temperatures will rebound to near 50 on Saturday afternoon, fall into the 30s Sunday, and then struggle to reach above the 20s on Monday. The brief warm-up ahead of the Arctic air will trigger snowmelt in areas hit by recent storms. Slush and runoff may cause ponding on city streets, and then that rapid freeze on Sunday night will turn that standing water icy. A key ingredient in major winter storms is fresh, cold air, and next week's system will have plenty of it. As warm, moist air collides with the Arctic air, widespread wintry precipitation can develop. If it is cold enough, as it may be for the Great Lakes region and parts of the Northeast, much of that precipitation may occur in the form of snow, sleet, and freezing rain. The amount of snow and ice, as well as where rain will take over as the primary form of precipitation, will depend on the track and strength of the storm. This storm is unlikely to rival the recent blizzard, especially across the coastal Northeast, but some areas that got little or no snow from that storm could pick up several inches of snow or ice. The risk of travel disruptions will increase from Monday through Wednesday, depending on the storm's exact track and strength. Major airport hubs from D.C. and Philadelphia to New York City, Boston, Detroit, and Chicago could be affected. Where rain falls, most likely in the Ohio Valley and along the Mid-Atlantic and southern New England coasts, urban flooding is possible. If the storm tracks farther north, the risk of ice jams and related stream and river flooding could also increase. 2 people were killed over the weekend in separate avalanches in Idaho and Utah as dangerous backcountry conditions continue across the West. A snowmobiler died Sunday in Idaho after triggering an avalanche north of the Keg Springs trailhead in the Centennial Mountains near Island Park. That's according to Fremont County Search and Rescue. A group of 4 people visiting from the Midwest was caught in the slide. One snowmobiler was buried fairly deeply and did not survive. 2 others were caught but were not injured. On the same day, another snowmobiler was killed in Utah in the upper reaches of Caribou Basin in Snake Creek Canyon north of Midway. The Utah Avalanche Center said the snowmobiler was caught, carried, and fully buried in the avalanche. Avalanche danger was rated considerable at the time of that fatal Utah slide. The incidents are the latest in a series of deadly avalanches in recent weeks amid persistent high avalanche danger across parts of the western U.S. According to the Gallatin National Forest Avalanche Center, 97 avalanches have been observed in the past 2 weeks. Well, the National Hurricane Center has issued its final report on Hurricane Melissa, which devastated Jamaica in October of last year. One notable change is that the maximum sustained winds estimated by reconnaissance aircraft were increased from 185 miles per hour to 190 miles per hour, though the Jamaica landfall wind speed of 185 was unchanged. Now, this means that Hurricane Melissa is tied with Hurricane Allen in 1980 for the strongest winds ever measured in an Atlantic hurricane. Hurricane Allen never made landfall in the Caribbean, but killed more than 220 people in Haiti with high winds and flooding. The storm later made landfall as a Category 3 near the border of Texas and Mexico. Another key measure of a hurricane's intensity is the central pressure, or the atmospheric pressure at the core of the eye. At maximum strength, Melissa's pressure dropped to 26.34 inches of mercury, or 892 millibars, tying with the Labor Day hurricane of 1935 for the third most intense Atlantic hurricane ever observed. That number did not change in the final report. Kingston, Jamaica's capital, was spared the worst of the hurricane, but western parts of the island nation experienced total devastation. The storm made a second landfall in Cuba on the 22nd as a Category 3. Haiti was affected by severe flooding from Melissa, with more than 35 inches of rain falling in localized areas. A record for the strongest wind gust ever measured via reconnaissance aircraft was also set by Hurricane Melissa and confirmed in November of last year. The National Hurricane Center estimates that 95 people were killed by that storm, 45 in Jamaica, 43 in Haiti, and 7 elsewhere. In Jamaica, there is an estimation of 1.25 million farm animals being killed. AccuWeather's damage and economic loss estimate for Hurricane Melissa was between $48 and $52 billion. That's all for now. You can find more regional forecasts and science-based articles at AccuWeather.com, and for your local forecast at your fingertips, download the AccuWeather app. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe. I'll be back tomorrow with more from AccuWeather.